Research is hard, but your tools should not be. Subthesis.com is the free alternative to expensive software. Whether you need to calculate Cronbach's alpha or organize your field notes, Subthesis has a tool for it. No paywalls and no registration required. Check the link in the description and let's dive into today's lesson. Welcome to this guide on building your online academic presence. In today's connected world, your scholarly identity extends far beyond your physical institution. Colleagues, hiring committees, journalists, and potential collaborators form impressions of you based on what they find online. Your online presence is not a vanity project, but a professional necessity. It determines whether people can find your work, whether they understand your expertise, and often whether they contact you for opportunities. Yet many graduate students approach their online presence haphazardly, with incomplete profiles, inconsistent information, or no presence at all. Today, we will explore how to build an intentional online academic presence that serves your professional goals. You will learn to create effective profiles across key platforms, engage strategically with scholarly communities online, and manage your digital footprint thoughtfully. The investment you make in your online presence creates ongoing returns as your visibility and discoverability increase throughout your career. By the end of this session, you will be equipped across 4 essential dimensions of online academic presence. First, you will understand why online presence matters for academic career development, including how visibility affects opportunities and how absence creates problems. Second, you will learn to create and maintain effective academic profiles across key platforms where scholars are expected to be present, understanding what information to include and how to present yourself effectively. Third, you will develop strategic approaches to scholarly social media engagement, recognizing both opportunities and risks of public academic discourse online. Finally, you will learn to manage your digital footprint to support rather than undermine your professional goals, including addressing problematic content and maintaining consistent identity across platforms. Let us begin by understanding why online presence has become professionally essential. Online presence has become professionally essential for academics. Understanding why it matters motivates the investment required to develop it well. Discoverability means people can find you and your work. When someone hears an interesting presentation and wants to learn more, they search online. When researchers working on related topics look for potential collaborators, they search. When journalists need expert sources, they search. If you are not findable, these opportunities pass you by. Controlling your narrative means shaping how you are perceived online. If you do not create your own profiles, others will define you through scattered mentions, institutional listings, and random appearances. Taking control ensures that what people find accurately represents who you are and what you do. Network expansion happens when your online presence connects you with scholars beyond your institution. Scholars you have never met in person may find your work online and reach out. These connections create collaboration opportunities, feedback, and professional community that geographic proximity alone cannot provide. Career opportunities increasingly involve online searches. Search committees look up candidates. Tenure reviewers examine scholarly impact. Grant reviewers check credibility. Your online presence affects these high-stakes evaluations whether you want it to or not. Better to shape what they find than to leave it to chance. Google Scholar is the most widely used academic search engine, making a Google Scholar profile one of the most important elements of your online presence. This free platform requires minimal ongoing maintenance while providing significant visibility. Google Scholar aggregates publications attributed to you, attempting to automatically identify your work across publishers and repositories. You can verify correct attributions and add any missed publications. This aggregation creates a single location where people can see your complete scholarly output. Citation tracking shows how often your work is cited and calculates metrics like your H-index. While metrics have limitations and should not be overvalued, they provide objective evidence of scholarly impact that hiring committees and evaluators notice. Having accurate citation data helps rather than hurts you. Setup is straightforward. Create a profile using your institutional email for verification. Add a professional photo, your affiliation, and keywords describing your research areas. Review the automatically detected publications and correct any errors. The initial setup takes perhaps 30 minutes, and occasional maintenance to verify new publications takes minimal time thereafter. Most established scholars have Google Scholar profiles, and its absence raises questions about why you do not. ORCID, which stands for Open Researcher and Contributor ID, provides a unique persistent identifier that distinguishes you from other researchers and connects your work across systems. Think of it as a digital fingerprint for your scholarly identity. The unique identifier solves the problem of author name ambiguity. Common names create confusion about which John Smith or Maria Garcia authored which paper. Name changes through marriage or other circumstances complicate attribution. ORCID provides an unambiguous identifier that follows you throughout your career, regardless of name changes. ORCID connects your work across different systems. Publishers, funders, institutions, and databases increasingly integrate with ORCID, allowing your publications, grants, and affiliations to flow into your profile automatically. This integration reduces duplicate data entry and ensures consistent attribution. Many publishers and funders now require ORCID identifiers when submitting manuscripts or grant applications. Having an ORCID is becoming not just advantageous but necessary for participating in scholarly communication systems. Better to establish yours now than to scramble when a submission requires it. Registration is free and takes only a few minutes. Go to orcid.org, create an account, and claim your identifier. Populate your profile with your education, employment, and publications. Once established, grant permissions to publishers and other systems to update your record automatically. Your institutional profile on department or university websites establishes your place within your academic home and often appears prominently in search results. Taking advantage of this visibility requires attention. Institutional pages establish your affiliation and legitimacy. When someone searches your name, your university profile demonstrates you are a real person at a real institution. This verification matters in an online environment where credibility can be uncertain. These pages rank highly in search results because university domains carry authority. When people search your name, your institutional profile often appears on the first page of results. This prominent placement means your institutional profile strongly shapes initial impressions. Include a professional photograph that shows your face clearly. Photographs help people recognize you at conferences and make your profile more engaging. The photo should look professional but need not be formal. A clear, friendly headshot is appropriate for most academic contexts. Write a biography that accurately describes your research interests, background, and current work. Keep this updated as your focus evolves. Outdated information suggesting you are working on things you no longer study creates confusion. Review your institutional profile at least once per year to ensure accuracy. ResearchGate and academia.edu are social networking platforms specifically for researchers. Understanding their features helps you decide how to use them. Both platforms allow you to create profiles, share publications, and connect with other researchers. They facilitate requesting and sharing papers, following scholars working on similar topics, and tracking who is engaging with your work. These features can expand your network and increase your work's visibility. Sharing publications and preprints on these platforms makes your work accessible to researchers who might not otherwise encounter it. Some studies suggest that papers available on these platforms receive more downloads and citations, though the evidence is mixed. At minimum, having your work available increases the chance of discovery. Connections with other researchers on these platforms can lead to collaboration, invitations, and awareness of relevant work. The networking features function somewhat like LinkedIn for academics, creating professional connections that may yield future opportunities. Weigh the benefits against time investment. These platforms send frequent notifications and can become time sinks. The professional return varies by field. Some disciplines are heavily represented while others are not. A basic profile with your publications requires little maintenance, while active engagement requires ongoing attention. Decide your engagement level based on your field's norms and your own priorities. A personal academic website provides complete control over how you present yourself online. While optional, many successful academics maintain personal sites that comprehensively represent their scholarly identity. Complete control means you decide exactly what appears and how. Unlike platform profiles with fixed formats, your website can emphasize what matters most to you, present information in your preferred organization, and reflect your personal style while remaining professional. A personal website serves as a comprehensive home for your scholarly identity. Your CV, publications list, research descriptions, teaching materials, and contact information all live in one place you control. When you share your website, recipients find everything they might want to know. Essential content for an academic website includes your biography, CV, publication list with links to papers when possible, descriptions of your research interests and current projects, and contact information. Additional content might include teaching materials, data and code from your research, media appearances, or blog posts about your work. Creating and maintaining a website requires investment. Website builders like WordPress, Squarespace, or GitHub Pages make creation accessible without technical expertise, but you must still generate content and keep it updated. An outdated website with old information is worse than no website. If you create one, commit to maintenance. LinkedIn serves a different function than purely academic platforms by connecting you with professional networks beyond academia. Its value depends on your career interests and field. Professional networking beyond academia matters if you are considering industry positions, consulting, or collaboration with non-academic organizations. LinkedIn is where many professionals outside academia connect. If your career might involve these sectors, a LinkedIn presence makes sense. Non-academic connections, including policymakers, practitioners, media, and industry partners, use LinkedIn more than academic platforms. If your research has applied dimensions that might interest these audiences, LinkedIn helps you reach them. Health professionals, business people, and others outside academia will find you on LinkedIn before ResearchGate. Different audience means different presentation. LinkedIn profiles typically emphasize skills, experience, and impact in ways that resonate with professional rather than purely academic audiences. You might describe your research in terms of real-world applications rather than theoretical contributions. Adapt your presentation to the platform's audience. Keep your LinkedIn profile professional and current even if you do not use it actively. Incomplete or outdated profiles create negative impressions. If you have a LinkedIn profile, maintain it. If you will not maintain one, perhaps do not create it. Twitter and similar social media platforms have become significant venues for academic discourse, offering both opportunities and risks that merit careful consideration. Community engagement on social media connects you with scholars worldwide. Academic Twitter, in particular, hosts active communities discussing research, sharing papers, debating ideas, and building relationships. For some scholars, social media has become a primary professional networking venue. Sharing your research on social media increases visibility beyond traditional academic channels. Tweeting about your publications can drive readership. Commenting on developments in your field positions you as an engaged expert. These activities contribute to your professional profile. Professional risks accompany social media benefits. Public statements are permanently archived and easily taken out of context. Academic Twitter has seen careers damaged by poorly considered posts. The line between personal and professional blurs on platforms where your username appears on everything you post. Strategic use maximizes benefits while managing risks. Decide what role social media will play in your professional life. Observe how respected scholars in your field use these platforms. Consider whether the time investment yields sufficient return. Some scholars thrive on academic social media, others decide the risks and time costs outweigh benefits. This is a personal and strategic choice with no universally correct answer. Developing a content strategy helps you share valuable material consistently rather than posting randomly or going silent for months. Intentional content planning serves your professional goals. Sharing your own research is central to academic social media. When you publish papers, present at conferences, or receive grants, share these milestones. Explain your findings in accessible terms. Make your work discoverable to people who might not encounter it through traditional channels. Field developments, including new publications, policy changes, media coverage, and academic debates in your area, provide content that positions you as an engaged expert. Curating and commenting on developments demonstrates your knowledge and helps followers stay informed. This sharing benefits others while building your reputation. Professional activities like conferences attended, awards received, and career milestones make appropriate content. These posts are not bragging, but professional communication. Colleagues celebrate each other's successes, and sharing yours lets people know what you are accomplishing. Curated expertise means thoughtful engagement with topics you know well. Rather than opining on everything, focus on areas where you have genuine expertise. Your value comes from informed perspective, not from having opinions on all subjects. Establish yourself as a reliable source of insight in your specific area. Managing your digital footprint means actively shaping what people find when they search for you, rather than leaving it to chance or historical accident. Search yourself regularly to know what others find. Use multiple search engines and try variations of your name. Look at images as well as web results. Understanding your current digital footprint is necessary before you can improve it. This audit should happen at least annually and before job applications or other high-stakes situations. Consistency across platforms creates a unified professional identity. Your name, photo, biography, and descriptions should align across all platforms. Inconsistency confuses people and suggests carelessness. When you update information on one platform, update it everywhere. Address problematic content that appears in searches. Old social media posts, unflattering photos, or content you no longer want associated with you may surface. Some content can be deleted. Other content may require reaching out to website owners. For content that cannot be removed, creating more positive content can push problematic items lower in search results. Privacy settings on various platforms control what is publicly visible. Review settings on social media accounts, photo sharing services, and other platforms. Decide consciously what should be public and what should be restricted. Default settings often make more public than you might intend. The boundary between professional and personal online presence has blurred as platforms intermingle and content spreads across contexts. Navigating this blurring requires intentional choices. All content is potentially visible regardless of intended audience. Privacy settings are imperfect. Friends share posts. Screenshots circulate. Assume that anything you post anywhere might become public. This assumption should inform what you post without making you paranoid. Separate accounts maintain boundaries by having distinct professional and personal presences. You might have a professional Twitter for academic discourse and a personal Instagram for friends. This separation allows different personas but requires maintaining multiple accounts and accepting that separation is never complete. Integrated presence accepts that your online self is unified. Some scholars post personal content alongside professional material, showing themselves as whole people rather than purely professional entities. This approach is authentic but requires comfort with professional contacts seeing personal content. Neither approach is definitively correct. Consider your field's norms, your personal comfort, and your career stage. Junior scholars face different risks than established professors. Conservative fields have different expectations than others. Make considered choices about what to share rather than defaulting without thought. How you engage online affects your reputation as much as what you post. Best practices for online engagement protect your professional standing while enabling meaningful participation. Contribute constructively by adding value to conversations. Share insights, provide helpful information, ask genuine questions, and engage thoughtfully with others' ideas. Content-free engagement or constant self-promotion without substance diminishes your credibility. Maintain professional tone even when disagreeing. Academic debate can be vigorous while remaining respectful. Attacking people rather than ideas, using sarcasm or mockery, or engaging in pile-ons damages your reputation regardless of whether your position is correct. Disagree as you would want others to disagree with you. Credit others generously by sharing and citing their work. When you learn something from someone, acknowledge them. When you share interesting content, credit the creator. Generous citation and sharing builds relationships and demonstrates intellectual integrity. The academic norms of attribution apply online as much as in publications. Know when to disengage from conversations that will not be productive. Not every criticism deserves response. Not every argument is worth having. Sometimes the wisest choice is to stop engaging and move on. Endless online disputes consume time and energy while rarely changing minds. Online platforms offer opportunities to build professional networks beyond what physical proximity allows. Strategic network building creates connections that enhance your career. Follow scholars working in your area to learn and create connection opportunities. Following someone's work online creates awareness that can lead to engagement. You learn about their research and they may notice your interest. Building familiarity precedes deeper connection. Engage thoughtfully with others' content by commenting substantively, sharing interesting work, and responding to questions or discussions. Meaningful engagement creates recognition. The person whose work you consistently engage with thoughtfully notices you over time. This recognition can develop into professional relationship. Initiate connections by reaching out to people directly. If you read something interesting, send a brief message saying so. If someone's work connects to yours, mention the connection and suggest potential exchange. Most people appreciate genuine interest in their work. Do not be afraid to initiate contact. Online connections can become real professional relationships. People you meet online may become conference contacts, collaborators, or friends. Virtual relationship building is legitimate in contemporary academia. Some of your most valuable professional relationships may begin with online interaction before meeting in person. Certain mistakes commonly undermine online academic presence. Being aware of these pitfalls helps you avoid them. Incomplete profiles on platforms you have joined look abandoned or unprofessional. A Google Scholar profile with no photo and sparse information, or a Twitter account you never use, creates worse impressions than not being on those platforms at all. Either complete your profiles or do not create them. Inconsistent information across platforms confuses people and suggests carelessness. If your institutional page lists old research interests while your website describes new work, people do not know which is current. When information changes, update it everywhere. Keeping track of where you have profiles helps you maintain consistency. Oversharing makes content public that should remain private. Not everything in your life belongs online. Personal struggles, controversial opinions unrelated to your expertise, and information about others who have not consented should generally stay private. Even in personal accounts, consider whether content should exist online at all. Ignoring your online presence entirely is noticed. Search committees, collaborators, and others expect to find scholars online. Complete absence raises questions and means missed opportunities. You need not be active on every platform, but having no findable online presence is increasingly unusual and potentially concerning to those trying to learn about you. Not all platforms are equally important for all scholars. Strategic prioritization focuses your effort where it matters most. Prioritize platforms based on your field's norms. Different disciplines emphasize different platforms. Economists use Twitter heavily. Biomedical researchers emphasize PubMed profiles. Some fields are active on ResearchGate while others are not. Observe where established scholars in your field are present and focus there. Establish minimum viable presence on core platforms first. Google Scholar, ORCID, and your institutional profile are essential regardless of field. These require minimal maintenance while providing significant visibility and functionality. Get these working before expanding to additional platforms. Add platforms strategically as capacity allows. Once your core presence is solid, consider which additional platforms would most benefit your professional goals. Do not join every platform. Be selective based on expected return for your time investment. Quality of presence matters more than quantity of platforms. Being well represented on 3 platforms serves you better than having half-completed profiles on 10 platforms. Focus creates better impressions than scattering. Each platform you maintain requires ongoing attention. Do not commit to more than you can sustain. Online presence requires ongoing maintenance to remain current and effective. Sustainable maintenance practices keep your presence working for you without consuming excessive time. Regular updates ensure your profiles reflect current information. When you publish a paper, add it to your profiles. When your research focus shifts, update descriptions. When you change positions, update affiliations. Small regular updates are easier than major periodic overhauls. Annual audits provide comprehensive review. Once per year, search yourself to see what appears. Review all platforms where you have presence, update outdated information, remove or address problematic content. This annual practice catches things that slip through regular updates. Career transitions trigger major updates. Starting graduate school, finishing your degree, taking a new position, or other major changes require updating all your profiles. These transition points are natural times for comprehensive review and revision of how you present yourself online. Sustainable investment means treating online presence as ongoing professional infrastructure rather than a one-time project. The time required is modest if you integrate maintenance into your regular workflow. The payoff in visibility, discoverability, and professional opportunity significantly exceeds the investment. If you are starting to build your online presence or significantly improving it, a phased action plan makes the task manageable. Here is a 4-week starter plan. In week 1, create your Google Scholar profile and register for ORCID. These foundational platforms require minimal time and provide immediate benefits. Add your publications, verify attributions, and complete basic profile information. These platforms then work for you automatically. In week 2, focus on your institutional profile. Ensure your departmental website page includes a professional photo, current biography, and accurate information about your research and teaching. If your institution allows customization, take advantage of available features to present yourself effectively. In week 3, audit your existing digital footprint. Search yourself across multiple search engines. Note what appears and what concerns you. Identify content to address and gaps to fill. This audit informs decisions about where to focus further effort. In week 4, decide which additional platforms to join based on your field and goals. Begin establishing presence on your chosen platforms. This might include academic social networks, LinkedIn, Twitter, or a personal website. Start with what you can sustain and expand later. Let us consolidate the essential lessons from today's exploration of building your online academic presence. First, recognize that online presence is professional necessity, not optional vanity. People search for you. What they find shapes their impressions and affects your opportunities. Taking control of your online presence is taking control of your professional narrative. Second, establish presence on core platforms before expanding. Google Scholar, ORCID, and your institutional profile are essential and require minimal maintenance. Build these foundations before adding academic social networks, personal websites, or social media. Quality on few platforms beats scattered presence on many. Third, manage your digital footprint intentionally. Search yourself to know what others find. Maintain consistency across platforms. Address problematic content. Make conscious decisions about professional versus personal content. What exists online about you should be there by your choice. Finally, maintain and update your presence sustainably over time. Small regular updates are easier than major periodic overhauls. Annual audits catch what slips through. Career transitions trigger comprehensive updates. Treat online presence as ongoing professional infrastructure that requires and rewards consistent attention. This concludes Section C of the Graduate School Prep series on Academic Skills Fundamentals. In Section D, we will explore navigating the systems and structures of graduate education, starting with understanding the hidden curriculum of graduate school. Writing the thesis is a marathon, not a sprint, but you do not have to run it alone. If you are feeling stuck with your data or overwhelmed by your sources, let us help. Head over to subthesis.com. It is completely free and designed to make your life easier. You are making progress. Keep going. And don't forget to subscribe for more support.